Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Rob, and today we are talking about sandwiches, specifically the breakfast sandwich. Now, I love all sandwiches. I think there's three categories. There's the hot sandwiches, there's cold sandwiches, and then there's the breakfast sandwich. And yes, it gets its own category. I think it's just that great. And today we're doing a breakfast sandwich that was recommended to me from a friend on social media. I had, over the last couple of months, been on the weekends making my different creations of breakfast sandwiches and posting them. Here's one, another one, and letting people tell me what, if they were to build their own breakfast sandwich, what would it contain? And there's one that stood out to me, and it's this one right here. And we're gonna get ready to make that right now. All right, we're ready to make this breakfast sandwich. And what is this breakfast sandwich? Well, I'm gonna call it the Grabinski, because Steve Grabinski on Facebook, when I put this out and posted a picture of a breakfast sandwich that I had made and asked the question, what's your favorite breakfast sandwich? How do you build it? What's the combination of ingredients that you enjoy on a breakfast sandwich? This is what Steve came back with, and to be honest with you, Spam was never in my thoughts of what I would put on a breakfast sandwich. But that's what we're doing today. We're gonna use Spam instead of a sausage or a bacon or a ham. That's gonna be our meat. You might be thinking, man, are you sure? Listen, I've made the sandwich, I've tested it, it's absolutely delicious, and I think it's worth putting out here on the channel. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna call this the Grabinski. We're gonna have some Spam. I'm going 25% less sodium. I just think, anytime I can lessen the salt that's in my food and I can add it as I want, that's what I like to do. This goes on sourdough bread. We're gonna slice a couple slices of sourdough bread. We're gonna do a fried medium egg over medium. We're gonna do some provolone cheese for this sandwich. Gonna put some sliced avocado on this sandwich, and a few splashes of Frank's original hot sauce. Any hot sauce you have will do, so whatever your favorite is, feel free to use it. All right, let's get started. First thing we'll do is we're just going to slice and toast some bread. Now, I better turn the burner on. There we go. There's a couple ways you could do this. And you're going, what, toast, really? Yeah, butter, which is fine. Or I'm kind of a bigger fan of olive oil. I just feel like the flavor in the olive oil is better than the butter. I also feel like it gives me a more crispy kind of outer edge on my bread, on my toast, that I really enjoy a little bit more. So that's the one variation I'm gonna do to Steve's recipe is instead of butter toast, I'm gonna do olive oil toast as my toast. We're gonna fry that up real quick. All right, let's grab a knife, a serrated knife, cut this bread. I'm going to just, not too thick, I'm just gonna go kind of a little over 1/4 of an inch and slice that and give me my second one and slice that. All right, we've got our toast ready to go. By the way, if you could, subscribe to the channel, like the video, hit the notification bell, you'll get notified when we put out new videos. Really helps the channel. I really appreciate it. Love doing this. Would love more people to find us. A way to do that is to share the video, like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. All right, back to cooking. Just gonna grab some olive oil. Pan's getting nice and hot, maybe a little too hot. And I'm just going to put some olive oil on the bread, and down she goes. We're just going to get a rubber spatula, and I like to press it down just a little bit, just to make sure all parts of that bread is touching the skillet, so we get it, kind of an even toast on there. And then we're going to come in on this other side, do the same thing, and you'll see me sometimes just kind of, to get that even layer of olive oil, I'll just, now you don't have to do both sides if you don't want to. That's completely up to you. For me, I do it. I mean, I could see the thought would be if you didn't, it's kind of more absorbent. So when that, medium egg kind of breaks, maybe you get some of that yolk to soak into the bread and not run off the sandwich. Probably. So it doesn't take too long. You can see that cook up pretty quick. Oh yeah, looking good. All right, one piece of toast off. Let's get this second one down. The other thing I like about this sandwich is it's easy enough to do all in the same pan, because this is a non-stick pan. All I'm going to do is get this toast done, wipe it out, cook our Spam, wipe it out, eggs go in, and pretty much we're done. Time you can use a fewer number of pans and dishes and things in the kitchen when you're cooking, it's always a good thing. I'm going to move this cheese over here because I don't want the heat of the skillet to warm up that cheese. All right, let's see how we're looking on this other side. Oh yeah. All right, toast is looking good. Let's go ahead and get that out. And I'm not even going to wipe it out when we do this Spam, so all I'm going to do is come over here, open this bad boy up. I got to tell you, I haven't had Spam since I was a kid, and as you can tell by looking at me, I'm not young. So I'm 55. It's probably been 45 years until I made this sandwich a couple times over the last month. And, you know, I forget how versatile and how good this really is. I think we just think cheap and nasty, and it's really not. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there you go. All right. So all I'm going to do here is just slice me off. And because of the bread I'm using, I'm just going to use 3 slices of Spam. And we'll put that right there. All right, I'm just going to put just a little bit of oil in here. I don't want it to burn. And in we go. I'm just going to give it a little press just to try to get that color on there. Make sure it sticks to the, not sticks, but it's in contact with that skillet. I got to tell you, if you like sandwiches, specifically breakfast sandwiches, and you like playing around with different kind of profiles and ingredients and flavors that you can get out of it, this is one to absolutely try. I'm telling you, it's absolutely delicious. You might not, with the Spam, might not think that's not going to be too good. You're going to be blown away with how good this sandwich is. All right, look at that. Got a little color on there. Oh yeah, that's looking good. So while I'm letting that kind of go and brown up a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and get ready to do my avocado. I'm going to rinse my knife real quick. And we're just going to cut this bad boy in half. I'll take a smaller knife and just kind of cut me some slices out of here. All right, let's turn these over, see what we think on the other side. If I can get it, there we go. So I'm going to crank that heat up just a little bit. I like to get a little bit of that crispy crust on the outside of that Spam. A little texture to the bite. Going to have the creaminess of the avocado, the egg, the cheese. So, you know, we're going to have the crispiness of the toast, but it's also nice to have that other layer of crispiness on the edges of the Spam. So we're going to turn that up just a little bit. Oh yeah, that is looking good. That Spam is getting some nice crust on it. That's what we want. Getting ready to make this thing. Take our Spam out. Got that done. And I've got to, let's see. Next is just the egg. Then we're building this sandwich, and this is going to come together pretty quick. All right, now I am going to wipe it out before we get ready to make our egg. And that's because you get, you know, when you start to get that crispy crust on in any kind of meat, it leaves behind, you know, what we call fond. And I don't want that on my egg necessarily. So I'm going to turn this back on. Get it to about a medium. Going to throw in a little bit of olive oil. And then we're going to throw in a little bit of butter. All right, here we go with the egg. Let's get that in. Let's get a little black pepper. Get a little salt. So the way I'd like to do this, we call it an over medium sandwich, and most people would think you're going to, just turn it, maybe let it cook a little longer, let the white set, and maybe that yolk start to kind of set. My technique, I think, is similar to a lot of other people, but I like to just kind of crack the yolk, just a little slit in the yolk, turn it over, let it kind of finish a little bit where that heat gets more in there and kind of helps cook that down a little bit. I like the ooziness of the yolk, but sometimes too oozy on a sandwich like this, it can be messy, and hey, if it's messy, that's fine, but try to control that as much as we can. All right, let's go ahead and crack the yolk like that and get that egg turned over. All right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this off, let it sit on the cutting board, turn my burner off, get this out of the way. Gonna get a new cutting board out here. We're gonna build this sandwich, let you guys see how good this thing really is. All right, let's start building this thing. We're gonna get our bread and get it ready to go. I am going to then get some cheese, and I'm using provolone. Now, I just realized Steve in the Grabinski sandwich says to use cheddar. I know I did the first time for whatever reason, without looking at it again, I thought provolone. It'll work just fine. I think any cheese you want to use will work for this sandwich. So provolone it is today. We're going to take our Spam, put that right on there like that. And then what we're going to do is get a spoon, and I'm going to put this avocado across this top slice. I do like to come in with just a little bit of salt on my avocado. I've got to grab another spatula because I put the other one in the sink like a dummy. But here we go. Egg on top. From here, going to do a few dabs of hot sauce. Like that. We're going to take this top, push it like that. That's our sandwich. What do you say we cut into this and see what we think? Take a bite. I know how good it is, but I'm going to go ahead and take a bite and let you know again. Okay, what do you say we cut into this baby? Let's see what it looks like. See what we think. I'm going to give her just a little press and see if we get that yolk to kind of break. And serrated knife. Okay, that's our sandwich. I mean, if you don't think that's a good looking sandwich, I don't know what to tell you. Eggs cooked perfectly. We've got our layer of cheese. We've got our Spam. We've got perfectly cooked egg. We've got our avocado up top. That hot sauce is going to make it kick. Let's take a bite and see what we think. Yeah, the crispiness of that toast. You still get a little bit of that texture on the Spam. Creaminess of the avocado. It just all works very, very well. Tasty sandwich. Really, really good. It's a nice change, from having the usual bacon, egg, and cheese or sausage, egg, and cheese. These different flavor profiles really, really work, and it's just a really fun sandwich to make, a really fun sandwich to share with some friends and family. All right, everybody, that's it for this episode. Really appreciate you stopping by. Hope to see you on the next one, and until then, have a great night, everyone. I'm going to go in for another bite. Too good not to.